Hello, and welcome to my channel, Jamie Fran Colors. And today we are doing a bonus video on the paper in this book. I did a flip through and review of this book, Sakuems Illustrations, Natural Enchantment Coloring Book 2018. And I did that review last week and talked about the paper a little bit, that I had two books. One was the watercolor paper, one was the cardstock paper. And I did end up keeping the watercolor paper one, and I gave the other one to a friend. But we did talk about that the cardstock seemed to be about the same paper as in her first book, which looks like, I can find the cover. Guys, I got over my cold and now I think I have a sinus infection. It's just ridiculous. This is the first one, the 2017 book. And so we talked about how we thought the paper was the same. This is a test page we did in that book. These were the Faber-Castell Polychromos and their Prismacolors and alcohol markers, and then watercolors and ink tints over here. And now on this paper I seem to like, and we got a better color payoff with our wet mediums rather than the dry. We did get the pencil to work. It just took a little more effort and had kind of a softer payout than maybe we're used to on other papers. So with this watercolor paper, I hadn't tested it when I did the first review flip through of this book. Since then I have colored this pretty little girl out of this book, and I will tell you what I've done here so we can you can see how the paper might be reacting to different mediums. So her skin here is pan pastel. It worked beautifully. It blended well. It laid down well. It was fabulous. Loved it. Her hair is the Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils, and they worked fabulously. They blended well. The color payoff was great. They look like this. They're wood. They're a much more expensive pencil. They're probably the most expensive pencils I have right now. But beautiful. The hair turned out great. The texture was great. It blended well. Fabulous. Let's see. These purple flowers have the Kuretake Zig watercolor markers. Look like this. I did a base coat of purple on the flowers, and then I made a little darker shadows and stuff with, I think it was the Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils, but the watercolor pens, they laid down wonderfully on this paper. It worked fabulous. The stems, the greenery in this picture, are the Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils. And they're a harder pencil, and I could feel that they were kind of pushing down the tooth of the paper rather quickly, so I wouldn't be able to get a lot of layers, I don't think. But the color payoff was beautiful. They blended beautifully. I liked the way they turned out and they looked. I would definitely use them again on this paper. This flower is the Faber-Castell Polychromos. Again, they laid down beautifully, blended well. I really liked them. These yellow butterflies are our ink tints pencils, and they are a ink that's in pencil form, and then when you wet it, they activate. And they worked beautifully. I mean, this is watercolor paper. It's kind of intended for those types of mediums. And so they were beautiful. And then this purple butterfly is our Caran d'Ache Super Colors. And they're a watercolor pencil, and I did activate them. And they turned out beautifully as well. They were a little bit of a softer color payoff, but I think you could put more layers down and get more of a color payoff on those, but I thought they worked beautifully on this paper. The one pencil that I wasn't a huge fan on this paper was the Prismacolor Premier pencils, and they are my pencil of choice usually, but on this paper, because it's watercolor paper and it has a little bit more of a tooth than maybe I'm used to working with, the Prismacolor pencils are so soft that it was like it was taking a lot of pigment, and it was covering up the lines, the line work in the flowers. And let's see if I can show you a little better. Sorry my voice, you guys. I had plans to film quite a few little videos today too. We'll see how it goes. But the pencil laid down very quickly. It took a lot of wax and a lot of pigment from my pencil very quickly. The pencil wore down very quickly, and they just didn't, so it was a little bit harder to work with than I'm used to. So I don't know that they would be my pencil of choice on this paper, but I got a pigment out of them and they laid down. They wore my pencil down a lot quicker than I like. So anyways, take that as you will. But that is the mediums that I've used on this, and that's the only complaint I had. So I do really like this paper, and I'm definitely looking forward to coloring in this book, and I think I will color in this book more than I did the last one, just because I do have an easier time getting pigment anyways out of my mediums. So that's that. Take it as you will. It's just a little update on how the paper is reacting to the mediums I have and the way I color. So take it as you will. I think we'll do a full picture in this book in the future, probably pretty soon. I don't know when, but I think it's something that I would like to do and do a picture in this book. So look forward to that. So subscribe and so you get my notifications and know when I'm posting, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!